back to Van Dragon Studio. This week I'm a day late and $1 short. Well, that's not too unusual. However, we are doing from Great Weapon Master to Polearm Master this week. I've done a little updating and got direct comparisons going now. I'm hoping this format's a little more professional and works a little better. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Great Weapon Master. Prerequisite. Proficiency with any martial weapon. Repeatable no. You've learned to use the weight of a weapon to your advantage, letting its momentum empower your strikes. You gain the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Cleave. Immediately after you score a critical hit with a melee weapon, or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make one attack with the same weapon as a bonus action. Heavy Weapon Mastery. When you hit a creature with a heavy weapon as part of the attack action, on your turn you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and you can deal it only once per turn. Compared to the 2014 version, Great Weapon Master, you've learned to use the weight of a weapon to your advantage, letting its momentum empower your strikes. You gain the following benefits. On your turn, when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon, or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus action. Before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack roll hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage. As is, I would say this is quite the nerf, but not quite as bad as some of the people are saying. Actually, just the last half sentence, it would get rid of that. And you can deal it only once per turn. Because Great Weapon Master is awesome against low armored opponents. But let's face it, if you're facing a colossal construct, you're not going to be using it, because you're not going to hit an AC 27 if you're taking a -5 penalty. So Great Weapon Master was great against lightly armored weenies, but a lot of times it was overkill even without the +10 against those. So yeah, you're going to deal a lot less damage against a gelatinous cube, but against that horde of goblins, you're going to be pretty much the same, because that +10 was just overkill anyway. And you're going to be hitting higher armor class monsters more consistently. Okay, let's move on to Heavily Armored. Prerequisite medium armor training, repeatable no. You have trained to use heavy armor effectively, gaining the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your constitution or strength by 1. Armor training. You gain heavy armor training. Compared to heavily armored, prerequisite proficiency with medium armor. You have trained to master the use of heavy armor, gaining the following benefits. Increase your strength score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You gain proficiency with heavy armor. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. This has not changed. Heavy Armor Master. Prerequisite heavy armor training. Repeatable no. You can use your heavy armor to deflect strikes, granting you the following benefits. Ability score increase. Increase your constitution or strength by 1. Damage reduction. When you're hit by an attack while you're wearing heavy armor, any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage dealt to you by that attack is reduced by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Heavy Armor Master. Prerequisite proficiency with heavy armor. You can use your armor to deflect strikes that would kill others. You gain the following benefits. Increase your strength by 1. While you're wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that you take from non-magical attacks is reduced by 3. So they've gone from a static 3 to proficiency bonus. So it starts out at only -2, but yeah, it goes up to -6 by the time you reach 20th level. So nice little bit of scaling without breaking it. Inspiring leader. Prerequisite wisdom or charisma 13 plus, repeatable no. You are adept at encouraging others, granting you the following benefits: ASI wisdom or charisma by 1. Yeah, I know I'm developing shorthand on the fly here, but I think you're getting as tired of hearing it as I am of saying it. Encouraging performance. At the end of a short rest or a long rest, you can give an inspiring performance, a speech, a song, or a dance. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 10 feet of you, who witness the performance. The chosen creatures each gain temporary hit points equal to 2d4 plus your proficiency bonus. Compared to the original 2014, Inspiring Leader. Prerequisite, Charisma 13 or higher. You spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, shoring up their resolve to fight. When you do so, choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself, within 30 feet of you, who can see or hear you, who can understand you. Each creature gains temporary hit points equal to your level plus your charisma modifier. A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it has finished a long or short rest. This is sort of a lateral move from 2d4 plus your proficiency from your level plus your charisma to 2d4 plus your proficiency bonus. I think it's going to more or less average out similar. Better at higher or at lower levels on the new one, higher levels on the old one, or lower levels on better at lower levels on the new one, higher levels on the old one. Let's move on to Keen Mind. Prerequisite Intelligence 13 plus, repeatable no. You have trained to rapidly recall or discover vital details, granting you the following benefits: ASI Intelligence plus 1. Lore Knowledge. Choose one of the following skills: Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. If you lack proficiency in the chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it, and if you have proficiency in it, you gain expertise. Quick Study. You can take the study action as a bonus action. Compared to Keen Mind from the 2014 book, which says you have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. You gain the following benefits: increase your intelligence score by 1. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. You can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month. Well, I think I like the new one better, but only slightly. It's more of a lateral move. It does show yet again that Wizards is more or less abolishing the exploration factor. Um, the knowing which way is north and what time it is. World Ranger tricks, I think it should be baked into that Ranger, Barbarian, Primal classes. And the you can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month was real nice, but it was very, very annoying for dungeon masters because they had to, any time a player asked, they had to reveal the information. It was just Well, this is the rules. And I think giving expertise to classes that don't have it for a feat, especially while restricting it to certain skills, is a perfectly logical replacement and less game breaking. Let's move on to Mage Slayer. Prerequisite proficiency with any martial weapon. Repeatable no. You have practiced techniques useful in battling magic users, gaining the following benefits: ASI strength or dex +1. Concentration breaker. When you damage a creature that is concentrating, it has disadvantage on the saving throw it makes to maintain concentration. Guarded mind. If you fail an intelligence, a wisdom, or a charisma saving throw, you can cause yourself to succeed instead. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Compared to the 2014 version, you have practiced techniques useful in combat against spellcasters, gaining the following benefits. When a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, that creature has disadvantage on the saving throw it makes to maintain its concentration. And you have advantage on saving throw spells cast by creatures within 5 feet of you. So they got rid of the 5-foot range of Mage Slayer. That was one of the big complaints. You've got to be standing next to the caster. And it's really tough to stay within 5 feet of a spellcaster. They have too many ways to get away from you. You know, you get up there, you get within 5 feet, and poof, dimension door. If you're lucky. Thunderstep if you're not. Okay, let's move on, because I think the new one is much better. Medium Armor Master. Prereq, medium armor. Repeatable, no. You have practiced moving in medium armor to gain the following benefit: ASI, strength or dex +1. Dexterous wearer. While you're wearing medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity bonus of 16 or higher. Medium Armor Master. Prerequisite proficiency with medium armor. You've practiced moving in medium armor and gain the following benefits. Wearing medium armor doesn't impose disadvantage on your dexterity stealth checks. When you wear medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity score of 16 or higher. So yeah, this is a nerf to a already more or less useless feat. So it went from bad to worse. Let's get on out of here and move to mounted combat. Prerequisite proficiency with any martial weapon. Repeatable, no. You've developed a bond with your mounts, granting the following benefits. Mount Handler. You have advantage on wisdom checks animal handling made to handle or train horses and other beasts employed as mounts. Mounted Strike. While mounted, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that is within 5 feet of your mount and at least one size smaller than it. Leap aside. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails. For your mount to gain this benefit, you must be riding it, and neither of you can be incapacitated. Veer. While mounted, you can use your reaction to force an attack that hits your mount to hit you instead. Compared to the 2014, you are a dangerous foe while mounted. While you are mounted and aren't incapacitated, you gain the following benefits. You have disadvantage on melee attacks against any unmounted creature that is smaller than your mount. You can force an attack targeted at your mount to target you instead. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails. So they've added the bonus to animal handling checks, which makes sense if you're an expert rider. Yeah, this is looking a lot better. So once again, power's creeping up, but I don't see anything broken here. Observant, prereq, intelligence or wisdom, 13 plus. Repeatable, no. Quick to notice details around you, you gain the following benefits. ASI, intelligence or wisdom by 1. Keen observer, choose one of the following skills, insight, investigation, or perception. If you lack proficiency with the chosen skill, you gain proficiency in it. And if you have proficiency in it, you gain expertise. Quick search, you can take the search action as a bonus action. Compared to observant, quick to notice details in your environment, you gain the following benefits. Increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1. If you can see a creature's mouth moving while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. You have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom perception and passive intelligence investigation scores. I'm starting to wonder if they're doing away with the passive perception scores, at least for PCs. I know a lot of DMs have already home ruled that, and I'd rather have expertise. I do miss the lip reading feature. I think they should bring that back. I think it's a real bonus to offer to characters. Moving on to Polearm Master. Prerequisite proficiency with any martial weapon. Repeatable, no. You have trained extensively with pole weapons that have reach, granting you the following benefits. ASI, strength +1. Pole strike. Immediately after you take the attack action, an attack with a weapon that has heavy and reach properties, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with it. You can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. The weapon's damage die for this attack is D4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. Reactive strike. While you are holding a weapon that has the heavy and reach properties, you can use your reaction to make one melee attack against a creature that enters the reach you have with that weapon. Polearm Master from 2014 reads, when you take the attack action, an attack with only a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. This attack uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack. The weapon's damage die for this attack is a D4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. While you are wielding a glaive, halberd, pike, quarterstaff, or spear, other creatures provoke an opportunity attack when they enter the reach you have with that weapon. Just mentally weighing in on whether reactive strike or the opportunity attack are better. I'm leaning on the side of the reactive strike. Once again, I think I love that they've clarified and gotten rid of the very wordy list and made it any heavy weapon with the reach. That's a polearm. Other than that, I really don't see much difference in the powers. Just lateral shift. Well, that's it for this week, folks. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and do whatever you can to let folks know I am here. I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think of the new layout. Is this better or worse? I'm always up for recommendations. Thank you very much, and have a great week.